Hello, hello. Okay, looks like we started. I'm just waiting till I can confirm it. Okay. My phone didn't pick up the stream yet, so okay. But at least it shows that something is going on. Okay, yeah, I can see myself. Cool. Good evening. Good late evening. Hopefully everyone is fine today. Not everyone in the world, of course, but at least whoever looking my stream or part of that stream. So I hope you have everything all right, or at least you understand that everything you have is relatively good, or always good, whatever. So let's light another candle. Yeah, I use that USB lighter, pretty cool. Part of the wick come to the lighter and it doesn't work. Okay, we won. Now I have a light candle. It's called Lavender Woods. Most probably my camera wouldn't autofocus on that. Yeah, probably not. Okay, believe me, it's called Lavender Woods and it smells pretty good. Okay. So what we will do today, about what we will talk. And just a reminder, yesterday I thought maybe my stream wouldn't be available at all because it was a huge internet connection issues from my side. My OBS studio showed about 65% lost packages, so it was really bad. But after all, the stream is even possible to see, to listen, so it's still pretty good. But of course, it's not live stream, it's like stream recording of the stream after live stream. Even though I've not uploaded any recording, but it wasn't possible to interact during the stream. Now it's possible, so if someone by chance will join, please put something into the chat so we can speak. Okay, so what we have right now and today. Yeah, yesterday we talked about pink color. It's not pink, it's more violet, I believe. But we talked about pink color, and we talked that some people look to the world through pink eyes with pink glasses, and it's actually interesting if it's something like that exists actually, like pink eyes or pink glasses. So we can probably switch to my ChatGPT session and ask, what does mean look at the world through pink glasses? Overly optimistic way, ignoring negative aspects. Actually, not always ignoring, but they operate not prioritizing them, yes. So since in more positive light that they may actually deserve having rosy or cheerful perspective. So yeah, we talked that not many people actually have that pinky glasses on them, and sometimes it's very useful to have, yes, and to see at least, like we talk about nature, how nature looking to her children, to human and everything else, all the creatures, and how creatures could see humans and other creatures. So, but it's more like nature, creature, or I'd say even loving father and his kids. So if kids do something, not very serious, if they joking, or even if they do something which, yeah, they of course not so wise in some cases, and they do something which could harm somebody else or each other if there are multiple kids. But loving father will not see how ugly are the kids, what they're doing, like crime, etc., etc. But instead, he could see that through lovely eyes, basically through pinky glasses. Yes, so he sees that, yeah, it's kids, but they learn, they do some mistakes, but there are some kindness inside of their hearts, and what they're doing not because they fully understand and see the whole picture, everything. They see only very limited perspective of theirs. So yeah, having a pinky glasses sometimes is good, especially in this time of upcoming and continuing chaos in the world, because yeah, I know that many people just live their own life. They don't do, let's say, they don't do, so they have their own problems, correct? Um, um, we don't need to provide examples. Anybody could be an example, including me. So I live my life. I worry about something in my work. I worry about something happening with my kids. I worry about what to when I do shopping with my wife, and so on and so on. It's all actually very tiny problems if compare them with, like, yeah, with what more multiple groups of people should plan or should feel, etc., like countries or continents, or even smaller, like on the city level. So it's different kind of problems, and of course at every moment in time in the world there are wars. They never ending in the last, I don't know how many hundreds of years. So all human history is a history of wars and conflicts and everything. And at the moment there is war in Ukraine, there is war in Gaza, between Pakistan and Israel, in Ukraine between Russia and, let's say, Ukrainians, and so on. I believe there are some conflicts going on, maybe somewhere in Africa, maybe somewhere in Latin America. So it's a never-ending story. And of course, comparing to that problems and that, yeah, their problems, our problems are not problems at all. So they're very tiny, very unimportant and so on. But yeah, because people don't look and don't see the full picture, and it's really boring and really take a lot of energy to see actual pictures, see all the news, etc., etc. Especially if you will start thinking what is behind all of these wars. People go and kill each other not because they hate each other, yes, not because they just want to kill something, etc. They both fight for some idea, sometimes for some money, but again, it will be idea, and ideas, there are some people who put that ideas into the minds, and sometimes on the country level, even if most people don't want any war, but because for some leaders it's important to continue, it would be continue. And like every, even let's say not so clever person could understand that any war will end, yes, and the later the war ends, the more victims it will have, the more deaths, the more broken lives, and so on and so on. But yeah, there are also other parties in every war which do some business on it. They solve some problems, like problems of great communities of people, or maybe even very small communities of people, but very costly problems, and so on and so on. So yeah, after all of that, as a conclusion, I just saying that pinky glasses, it's worth to wear sometime, because if you will think about it, about all of this weight of all the problems in the earth, your problems, sometimes it's better to not notice not notice some negative aspects, because they're actually not too negative. Yeah, they may be negative at the current moment of time, but not too negative. Okay, yeah, when I talk about that, I think about multiple people who are addicts, or they don't see any sense in their lives, so they don't do see very little of sense, or they are sad, or yeah, depressed, or whatever. And I understand that, like, my words, they can help them, and actually there are no words which can help all the people in the world immediately. For each person you should find some proper words or proper deals, etc., etc. Okay, we already 13 minutes into the stream, and I really don't know if we have time to look into that, into something. Okay, let's switch to the Blender. I want some picture to be visible on plane surface with its geometry. Can you teach me very simply, step by step, how to achieve it in Blender 4.1? If you okay, also can you provide a link to an image which we can use for learning? Okay, let's see how Blender will do that. Okay, it's not exactly what we want. Actually, I want to display not the image but image geometry. I understand that image is 2D object, but I want 3D representation as a texture on a surface from the image. Okay, open Blender, download a wooden text image from here. Let's click here. Does it provide any link? Add-ons, import images and planes add-on. Add the plane. Okay, displays the geometry based on the image. Select modifier, subdivision, surface, add a displacement modifier. Add a material. Final tips. So displace is to create a new texture for displacement. Okay, maybe let's imagine I want to visualize some circuit board elements on the plane surface. I don't need highly detailed. I want to 3D thinking maybe it's possible to create one image of circuit board. Again, I did some mistakes. Add-ons. Again, it's still showing displacement modifier. Does it circuit board image? Open in sidebar. Okay. When it's actual link, actually it proposed to target new. So actually there are no image, but we can search for that. Okay, maybe let's leave that image, but search circuit board image. And we actually want some image which is more like top view. Yeah, I believe like that we tried, but maybe let's do we have any tools? Filter, image size, large. Nice, it shows the image size. So I understand that maybe it's not the best possible approach, because on that image we have not all the, so how displacement works when something is darker, it means it's low height. Something is yeah. Okay, let's save it here, and let's go to the other instructions. At add-ons, import, import images as planes. Okay, let's go to our layout. Come on, is Blender active? It's active, but can I move something? No. Let me maybe close this. I believe it just decided to rest sometimes, relax. Okay. Hey, my computer, please close Blender so we can end process. Okay, cool. And we can execute Blender once again. Blender. Okay, it's opened on the different screen. Blender, where are you? Okay. And we have our glasses. Okay, let's just remove that object at all. Okay, let's go to the preferences, import, export, edit, preferences, add-ons. Let's search image as a planes. Okay, let's enable it. Okay, so our next step would be switching back to yeah, and see Shift A, image as plane, navigate, select image, ensure this plane added to your scene. So Shift A, image as a planes, glasses, whip. Okay, looks like we added it, but we need to move it probably scale it. Okay, let's see on it. We just need to okay, we could see that. Cool. Okay, select the plane with image texture, go to modifiers tab, add subdivision surface modifier, set both view and render to 6 and apply it. Okay, let's go to range, add modifier, add search subdivision surface modifier, add 6, add 6. So subdivision surface, increase the mesh resolution, set both view and render to 6 for final results and apply it. Okay, and apply. Okay, looks good. Then add displace modifier, texture for displacement, add modifier, search, displace. Okay, add new texture. Click show texture in texture tab button next to the texture. That one. Okay, image or movie. Okay. Image movie, open the same circle board image. Back in modifiers tab, adjust the strength effect. We might need to set the strength for a low value for subtitle displacement. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And we need to raise the strengths. Okay, it's not strengths. We couldn't see because we have that light. Let's just change it to the sun. Yeah, sun is pretty. So let's go back to our modifiers. Let's just hide it. So it looks like that. Okay. And now if we show it, it looks like that. Okay, it's surely at the geometry. We could see that. Oh, and here is the strengths. Okay. And we need to maybe add strength even less. Maybe like 0.01. Okay. 0.04. Okay, let's see how it looks like in here. You know, it's look not so good, but better than I expected. Mid-level is how far from we go. Basically, yes, it doesn't change multiple things. Direction, we can go by Z only. So let's see what we could see if we enable that screen. You see it's try to reproduce that, but it's not sufficient subdivision modifiers. Yeah, strengths. So what if we add more subdivision modifiers? Subdivision, and let it move. Maybe we can move it before or after. If we move after, all the geometry it creates, it will it will smooth, but if we move it here, it will create better geometry. And if we just add more, maybe like 5, and my computer start to sync. See, I believe, yeah, it's actually not as much as I would expect. But when we add 6, yeah, it start to be not so fast. Let's see, at least we now find a way does it show all the okay, let's try to see how it looks like with the texture. Interesting that it's not exactly matches the texture, so most probably it's it's displaced because image here and here not exactly match, because when we apply our subdivision initially it's created from plane surface, and then we still want plane to be displaced, so it's different thing. But what we could see is that actually it's create some more or less geometry which is similar to that piece of uh, circuit board. Yes, so if we will play with like normal, we'll do it the same. Oh, I believe. Hello. Looks like I'm I just look at the stream and see that I'm actually, yeah, I'm hanging and not out. Okay, I save. Let me close this. I can even do transition back to myself, but yeah, my camera stopped working, and it's interesting why. Yeah, something going on. Most probably it stopped working because we yeah. So anyway, I don't think we actually need my camera anymore. Yeah, you cannot see me moving, and it's fine. Give me 1 second, maybe I'll. Okay, looks like interesting. Okay, looks like I got unstuck, so it's a good result. So we can now we can now go and finish our stream. Let me transition. Okay, yeah, looks like I'm moving now. Cool. So yeah, sometimes when you especially new to some area, like in our case I was completely new to the displacement modifier, but with some simple steps, some different image, we immediately receive some results. So we didn't do any huge things, correct? We just apply subdivision surface modifier, adding displays, providing the same picture. Okay, and yeah, play it slightly with strengths. Adjust material properties. You can tweak the material to ensure it looks good with the displacement geometry. Okay, we haven't played with the material, but we actually don't need it because we are not going to render it for beauty. We're going to apply the displacement modifier on our glasses surface. So we will receive some geometry of circuit board on the glasses. It was the idea, create glasses which will be blend of romance and development, and we decided to add some shapes of heart, maybe some text like developer, romantic developer, and also put on the surface something like motherboard geometry, and then we can paint it very carefully or not very carefully and have results like we have our glasses from the from circuit board. Yes, and it will be some romance added to that. Also the light settings, yeah, it's good to properly illuminate the scene, but again we don't need it because we are going just to export our glasses object as STL. Simplifies the geometry. Maybe it's a good idea, but we will print it on good liquid resin printer, so we could have good geometry. Grayscale image, something we could try for sure in the future. Yeah, and when I talk about that, I just looking for the tips. I'm looking at the tips of ChatGPT from our last prompt. And texture settings, yeah, we experimented already. So yeah, we probably could try it during our next stream and complete that part of our glasses, and then just add some hearts and add some text like romantic developer, and see if it will work. Yes, try to export it as STL object back at slicer program, try to create a format which is good for 3D printer and print it, and maybe after a few streams I will have good fancy glasses and we can finish ChatGPT for shorts creation idea soon. Okay, hopefully you have a good time of your day. I hope you sometimes will wear pinkie glasses, especially when you don't need to look into them in the very deepness of every problem. And yeah, I hope you feel coziness around you in your heart and could share it with your loved ones. Okay, see you. Where's my mouse? See you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Now 10 p.m. PST. Now our streams really become late night show. See you tomorrow.